Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David L., and I'm your host of Spirituality 101. We're here to talk about something terribly exciting and fun today. Hell. Well, okay. So it's exciting, but it's not exactly fun. People get all excited when you talk about hell. But take a deep breath. Let it out. Relax. It's going to be okay. You see, I had all sorts of misconceptions about what hell really is. I know you're surprised at this, grew up with some strange beliefs. Well, and that's to imply growing up that it's my parents' fault or the church's fault or people's fault. No! The beliefs were mine. I let them in. So this is not to blame anybody else. So let's talk about hell. You see, I had the belief as a young man, as a child, that earth was here and heaven was there, somewhere else that was not earth, not my existence. And that I was here and God was there, that he had created earth, put it over here, put me on it, and said, okay, here's the Bible, my rule book. Follow it. If you behave and follow the rules, then when you die, you get to go to heaven and be here with me. And if you don't, you get to go to hell down there for eternal torment. You get one life, one shot at this. It's like, ooh, I was nervous. And it's like, oh, and I can't be good. Every time I try to be good, I screw up. It just doesn't come natural to me. Being good is not normal for me. It's not something that I like. It's just a real challenge. It's hard to be good when you're me. Now, I'm probably not the only one that has this problem, but that's my problem. And then I heard this clause in the Bible, and they said, not only is being bad, but thinking about it's as bad as doing it. Ooh, oh, what I think, I can't stop thinking about it. In fact, if you tell me not to do something, I'm going to spend all of my time thinking about how to do it and how much fun it'll be doing it. I was like, ah! But turns out, things are not as bad as I had assumed. There are some pieces missing. I remember in my youth, I tended to drink a little bit in college. I don't know about you, but I was so stressed with all of these beliefs that when I discovered alcohol, I was like, oh, relief. I love that stuff. It lit me up like a Christmas tree. Now, I know there are some people on the planet like us that call them alcoholics, and I'm one of those. And I don't drink anymore, and it's a good thing. And it leaves plenty of alcohol left for the rest of you people. But I remember in the depths of my drinking, one of my old friends from childhood, who was a good Christian. You know the kind, good Christian. Why do people do it? Anyway, good Christian. He came up to me and said he'd heard I'd been drinking and partying. And he said, if you don't stop that, you're going to go to hell. And then he walked off. Well, a lot of help he was. Thanks a lot. It was more of an attack than a conversation. I mean, there was no, oh, let me share with you. No. It was like, you're gonna, and I'd heard that before in church. If you drink and you do these things, you're gonna go to hell. And I knew instantly when he said that. The truth was, I was already in hell. I was miserable. I was miserable and in hell long before I started drinking and partying. I was miserable. I didn't want to not go to hell. I wanted out. But you see, that didn't make any sense with what I've been taught in church. Hell was someplace you went to when you died, not here. And then, one day, many, many years later, 20, 20 years later, I was sitting down and I was watching a show. Let's Hear It for Television. It was this television show on hell. The origins of the belief in hell. And I was like, you mean everybody hasn't always believed in it? And they were like, no, it's a new belief. I'm like, really? How new? A couple of thousand years old, somewhere around in there. I'm like, really? And then I heard a rabbi. They were interviewing a Jewish rabbi, and he's saying that the Jews do not believe in hell. And I'm like, you're kidding. Christians do, and we just assume that Jews did too because we get all of our beliefs from them and then Jesus, right? And that's the root of all of our beliefs, isn't it? And he said, no. And in fact, the closest he would come to saying hell, the existence of hell, was that hell was the belief in the separation from God. Oh, ding, 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 bells are going off in the back of my head going, oh, I've believed all of my life. I'm here, God's up there, and we're separated. That's why I'm miserable, and I'm right. I am in hell because I believe this. It's like, oh. But I'm like, he just said that on TV. I need to talk to somebody. So I called up an acquaintance. He was a friend of a friend. He was a Jewish rabbi. And I invited him to lunch. And I put the question to him. Between bites, I looked at him and I said, do you believe in hell? He said, no! I said, really? He said, yes. I said, well, where do people go when they die? He says, they just go back where they came from. I'm like, really? He said, yeah. So you don't believe in hell? He said, no. I told him what the rabbi on TV said. And he said, yes, if you believe in separation for God, you're in hell already. It's not someplace you go to when you die. Really? I was like, But that's a rabbi, and being who I am, and I really appreciated what he said, it really helped, but I was like, well, what does the Bible say about it? Not just the Bible, the New Testament, because, coming from my background, it's one thing to hear it from the Old Testament, I wanted to hear it from the New Testament. And then the words of Jesus came to mind. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Really, right here, right now, right now. And he said something else. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It's inside of me. It's not someplace that I'm going to go to. It's someplace that's already within me. And I was like, that's not what I was told. That's what not I was told. Yeah. Why have I believed that? But what I can tell you is, when he told me that, when that good rabbi told me, no, you're not going to hell, or no, that it opened the gates of hell and let me out. It made me realize that God's right here, right now, always has been, always will be, and that there is no separation. And in fact, I finally come to the conclusion that heaven is always within me if I will look within. And that is our next segment. We're going to talk about looking within. So, join me again next time. It's Spirituality 101. Thank you.